morning, good morning. I've gone early a little bit on the stream because qualifying finishes in just under a minute, or the race start will be in a minute. So I just thought I'd dive into this one. I haven't done any warm up. I'm not ready. Just thought we would dive in. I have, let me just do this blind. I have got some news regarding PMR. Some good news, which I hope will come good later on today, and I will update everybody on that. I say momentarily, hopefully after this first race. Please excuse the dog barking. We got people outside. I just want to say good morning to Drat Fury, to Wolfie Sim Racer, Dan, William, Greg. Welcome to all of you guys. There is a chance that I might have to disappear very, very quickly if I get something through from PMR. We will have to see what happens. Not expecting anything imminently, but some good things are happening. Right. Matchmaking is starting now, so I can't go down and sort the dog out. It's going to be one of those days today. I can feel it in my bones. Just want to say congratulations to Borky. Won one of his races yesterday. Doing really well in the Daily Race C, on his way to a B rank racer. Also to Gamer Dan, who is doing some really good racing right now. He's working his way back up to A+, which is really good to see. So it's really nice to see quite a few of the PSR racers doing well. Am I going to do as well? Who knows? Starting from 8th, who knows how this is going to go? I really don't know. And I've got no sound at the moment. Why have I got no sound? Let's turn this better. Turn it up a little bit. Right. Okay. So yeah, completely unprepared. Let's see how things go. Come on, come on, come on. Hopefully the stream is okay. If you could give me a thumbs up if the audio and visuals are all right. If they're not, I'll have to get to them after this race. And then what I'll do is I'll update you on the PMR stuff afterwards. Although I'm not expecting many people to be watching today. There are plenty of streamers that are out there streaming PMR at the moment with hundreds of people watching. Very, very clear that there is a lot of interest in PMR at the moment, but unfortunately I do not have the ability to race that properly at this precise moment in time. I want to get back into it when I can race it properly. I'm going to reset everything and then get back into that as and when. So for now, we are sticking with Gran Turismo for the next couple of hours probably. Oh. Completely didn't see him up the inside. Oh, it's going around. Dear, oh dear. Oh, working with the PMR physics, this is totally different. What am I on with regards to traction control? Why on earth did that go around like it did? Finding it so hard to make the PMR car spin yesterday. This is so different. This is going. I've done so many hours in PMR with a really gritty force feedback, and then we've come back to this that is just, well, like Rita said yesterday, we were working together. She said this is like butter compared. Let's just see what we can do. We're 9.4. Still 10 seconds to the guys up front. Really not going to catch them anytime soon. Hamza with a 209.437. It's a nice fastest lap. As you can see, we are a million miles away from that with a 211. 2 seconds off the pace. Somebody's just left the room. Oh, it looks like Bobber has been in the wars again. That was the guy that I collided with in the first corner, so maybe I didn't need to particularly give that place back. I felt it was me, but somebody else has taken him out. Maybe I was a bit... No, I was wrong. I took him out. Didn't give him room earlier in the race. I'm trying to find excuses for my bad driving. So Greg, I did a race yesterday, no practice. Mistake my end, needed a good 10 to 15 minutes to find a rhythm. I'm in exactly the same boat, my friend. You and I are so alike when it comes to racing, except you've got the speed and I don't. No, I jest. You're way out of my league, Greg. But no, I need to have a good few minutes just to get settled in. I find it very difficult just to jump straight into a race like I have done today. But I've also got an awful lot going on at the moment. An awful lot going on. I'm going to come to that in a minute, but I actually finished with the PlayStation at 3 o'clock this morning. Don't tell the missus. 3 o'clock I gave in, and at 6 the alarm went to get up and get sorted out for the day. So I am going to be very, very, very tired by the end of tonight. But out of that has come some positivity this morning. Let's go round one more time. Because we were over that line. We're only going to get a 3-second penalty. Looks like Bob has simply retired to the pits. Just stay in there. Oh, yeah, so lots and lots going on. I am watching Discord all the time at the moment. any chance we're going to get anywhere close to the guys up front. But not up front, but in front of me. Ador, Astro Joe. Seconds and going away at the moment. It's 16 seconds now. Hamza down in the 208s. We are getting quicker and quicker, but not really making any headway on the guys up front. Or the guys I need to be trying to get on the back of. 15 seconds down the road. They've just cleared the bridge as I'm getting on the bridge. Thank goodness that one's over. Have a very quick little job I've got to do. Let's just check this Discord. Okay, right, so only got 9 people watching. I expected a really quiet stream because of PMR. A lot of people doing PMR stuff today, and that's where the interest is. Very little interest in an old game such as the one that we are running here. Let me just move this camera slightly and get it the right way. A little bit better, I think. Yeah, a lot of people watching PMR. A lot gone on. An awful lot has gone on over the last 24 hours. Well, not even 24 hours. Less than that. I've got 5 minutes before we get into this one. I will do a time trial in a moment. I launched PMR at 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon with everybody, and found that the Logitech was just dire. There was no force feedback whatsoever. Spent 2 hours playing around, completely died on stream. It was horrendous. I then spent another hour or so afterwards reading all the literature, Googling to see if there was anything that I could find anywhere, and I just came up with blanks throughout. Took the evening away, came back, did the PSR stream, which I was really not in the mindset for, because the whole PMR stuff had sort of it actually really deflated me and upset me quite a bit, actually, much more than I thought, because I'd put so much trust in PMR and really thinking about where we're going to go with the PMR, and I was really interested in that, and it all went a bit wrong. William just got P1 in a daily C. I got last, so well done, my friend, well done. But then things switched around. I engaged with 2 of the guys at PMR. I was on lots and lots of forums and everything everywhere. I was literally all of anything that I could do, I was doing to try and just find some answer. It's just like there has to be an answer out there somewhere. And I spoke to one person at PMR, one of the developers, who was a bit, the information's out there, just go and read it, apply it. And I'm like, I can't apply it, I can't work it out. And then I got reached out to by another person at PMR, one of the developers, who has been amazing. Listened to the troubles we've got. He's also a Logitech Pro racer. They were using Logitech Pro on a PC for some of their events, and he's extremely disappointed, obviously, with everything that's been said and everything that's going on, and they are working tirelessly to get things sorted out. And we left it last night that they were going to work on it, and I've extended my offer to them to pre-test anything that they want me to test before it goes out into the wilds, etc. And I've asked for, you know, a fix and some recommended settings and stuff like that. This morning he's come back to me with an update. It looks like I might, in inverted commas, I'm not obviously going to hold them to it because it is software and they've got to sort it out, but they've got an idea of what it is. They're working on it. They're going to be testing it, and there could be something coming my way a little bit later on today. I'm saying that with a word of caution because I work in the software industry. I know the way that things work, and it could be a day or two, but we will see. Also, they're taking on board everything that people are saying about the drivability, the penalties, a whole load of things, and I believe that we're going to see a massive update in 4 to 6 weeks time, something along those lines. I don't know for sure. Obviously nothing in writing, nothing in concrete, just sort of feelings, but I think that we're going to get some massive changes to PMR coming in a very short period of time. Oh, I've just gone around. Was one wheel in the grass. But what I'm finding really refreshing is the fact that there is somebody that is prepared to engage online with a user in the way that they've been interacting and engaging with me today. Something I've never, ever managed to get with Peripherally Digital, and don't think I ever will. Immediately, within a few hours, I've got one of the developers talking to me, listening to me, and already sort of saying we might have something for you later today. That is, in my book, incredible. Really incredible. And I'm hoping that that is a sign of good things to come. So I was testing the waters earlier on with Sony just to see if people can get a refund, and once you've downloaded and installed, it is extremely difficult, if not nigh on impossible. I've sort of given up for the moment, enjoying the stream. I don't particularly want a refund because I believe that PMR is going to be good. And I tell you what, last night when I was racing, even though I didn't have all of the feedback that I wanted, oh boy, there was times where I did have a smile on my face. I did a race with Rita last night, and just a one-on-one, and I had the biggest smile on my face because it's like ACC at the moment. Needs some work doing on it, but it's like ACC, but it's a modern game, and the developers are interested in improving and making it better. So again, if they're engaging with us, then I can talk to them about things that streamers and hosts, lobby hosts need. So I am quietly optimistic, shall we say, just quietly optimistic at the moment, and I will be feeding through information as and when I can. So you're going to find that I'm looking at this all the time today because I am involved with one of the S4 devs. We've got a DM chat that's very long now and going on, and you know, I won't quote what he's saying because he's being very candid. But he does believe that the issues that they're suffering with will be fixable in a very short period of time. I'm going to sneeze in a moment. And it seems to be that with the issues that I am getting is because they had to dumb down the force feedback because it was so strong. And I did find that yesterday. I got the car into a spin when I was working with some of the bits, and it literally ripped the wheel out of my hands. Surprisingly so. But it's a really nice gritty game. You can really slide the car through the corners, not drifting, but four-wheel sliding through corners, and just yeah, it just, I guess what I'm trying to say is as a lot of people have said, Gran Turismo is a little bit like a simcade for anybody to race on. It's very refined. The force feedback in Gran Turismo is like butter, whereas in PMR it was a lot more gritty. I actually felt like I was racing a car around a track on the edge. Whereas in Gran Turismo, I don't necessarily, you know, get that feeling, if I'm honest. So anyway, hopefully we will be getting back into it a little bit later on and see how we go. And it might even be that after lunch, depending on how the daily races are going, I might even get back into PMR in the state it is at the moment. Whoa, cars left, right and centre there. And, you know, just get into the career mode and see what we can do. Whoa, I thought that car was going to take me out, so I went over the side there. And obviously if we do get that fixed through, I will be jumping straight in to test that and feed back to the developer straight away. So if I'm in a daily race, it'll be a case of finishing that, getting it downloaded, giving it a whirl. But I just want to do a huge shout out to PMR. I'm not going to mention the developer's name or anything like that, but genuinely working with one of the developers, and that is an absolute revelation in my mind. To have somebody that you can talk to that is interested in what the user's experience is, that wants to get things sorted out, is fantastic. Whoa. Crikey, this is a mess. Look at this. It's ridiculous, this daily race. How on earth can you race like this? It probably will need an update, Mikey, but my take is if they're prepared to engage with a core group, I'll tell you what, if this continues like this, I'm just going to ditch it. These daily races, at the level I'm in, are just so dirty at this time of day. They do need to talk to people to help them. They really do. They need people that are going to give feedback, that are going to actually try and feedback information. I've already told him I've got some other requirements for people that are hosting communities, things that are missing, but I'm not going to hit them with that now. That can come later. For the moment, I just need to get the racing sim into a condition where people can race in it and use it. And there's so many streamers out there at the moment that are just putting it down, rightly so, because we all invested a lot of money in the game and expect to get value for our money. I haven't seen the Jimmy Broadbent video, but I believe that he was a bit slating of it, and I did see this Super GT video where he's talking about the physics. But the guys at PMR, they're on it. And I'm sure they will get it sorted out. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's going to take a little bit of time. But I'll do whatever I can do to help them with testing, with ideas. Mikey, yeah, I agree. I mean, I work in the software industry with professional application developers, and I know how passionate they are about what they do. There are ways of releasing software though. That can limit the sort of exposure that I think PMR have found themselves in. Now, whether that they did follow those procedures and they just not got the feedback from people, whether they just didn't have the right pool of people, I really don't know. You know, something has gone wrong somewhere in the ecosystem, as it were. But like I said, they do seem to be working on it, and that's all that we can ask for at the moment. I believe we're going to get the force feedback stuff later on today. I believe that there is a fix coming. Whether that is just going to be released to me somehow, or whether that, and to a few other core people obviously, or whether that's going to be a more general fix, I don't know at the moment. I'm going to sneeze again. Oh, just at the wrong time. Yes, I think there was a difference, and I'm not going to go into the details of what I've been told at the moment, but they had to make some changes to the force feedback for the final release, and I think that they've gone polar opposites in the force feedback. Choosing my words very carefully here, because obviously I'm not in the know and I've only got certain little sound bites in a direct message in Discord, but I think that the force feedback was too strong, and I think they've taken it back the other way too much. Now, I had the wheel ripped out of my hand last night. When I spun the car, it went from being very light to massive. So you know, that may well be something that they are trying to work on at the moment. I really don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see what we get later on. At the moment, I'm just gonna tread water, as it were, wait and have a look and see what we get when we get it. Oh no, that's sliding too much. I do think some of you that liked ACC are going to like the physics in PMR. It's the whole game has definitely got an ACC feel to it from my point of view, the way that it's sort of, the way that you have to navigate things. Should have pitted then, shouldn't I? The way that you have to navigate stuff, and just the way that the physics feel. Yeah. People keep saying that they must be watching. I do want to put this one in the randomizer. It is a nice little combo. Not a combo I believe that they've had before. I have to go defensive into this corner. Oh, crikey, mate. Can't even get across to the pits. Now, Mikey, I didn't experience any of that yesterday. I was struggling to lose the car, both the back end or the front end. Trying to invoke a spin, I found, was really hard last night. I felt I was racing the BMW, and it felt really, really, really good. Really good. Admittedly, I wasn't running the little Mazda. What that would be like, I don't know. Ugh. These tyres are gone. Jack, I don't know yet. There could be. I'm waiting for a fix from PMR for the Logitech wheel. They tell me they know what the problem is. They're working on it at the moment, and either I or we will have a fix. It's saying later today. Whether it will be later today or not, I don't know. Also, I don't know whether that is a fix that will be coming to me to test before they release it more widely, or whether it will just be, we've sorted it, there it is, do it. But it's been really nice, the fact that I've been into discussions with one of the developers overnight, and that was yesterday evening until quite late, and then into this morning. I woke up and a message from that developer giving me an update, which I did not expect. So from a customer service point of view, 100%, you know, they're blowing PD out of the water and then some. And communication in business is key. I think that, you know, if they talk and we know they're doing things, things will happen. And also, not only that we know they're doing things, but what they're doing. I've been told that they're obviously working on the force feedback issue. They know what the issue is. They're working on that for a quick fix, which I think you were alluding to yesterday when we were talking about this. And they're also talking about some of the wider fixes for the physics, for the penalty system and the like. Those fixes will come later. I'm thinking probably in 4 to 6 weeks time, something like that. There'll be an initial major release of things. And I think that there could well be a flow of enhancements, not even fixes, just enhancements going forwards. And the guy that I'm dealing with, or the lady I'm dealing with, the individual at PMR, I've even said, you know, there's a few things that lobby hosts are going to need. Can I talk to them about those at a later date? And that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm not going to hit them with those now. They've got bigger fish to fry. So will we be using PMR for our lobbies anytime soon? I'm not sure, because there are a few key things that are missing for me. One of which is BOP. I know for some of you that's not an issue, for some of you it is. I run BOP on all of mine, and even if we don't have BOP, if we could just have profiles that I can switch on, then that will be good enough. Profiles might be the wrong word, but I've got to get into that side of things a little bit more and just see where we are, what we've got. Exactly, good evening, or good afternoon, good morning, whatever. Yeah, so forgive me, although I'm doing the daily races at the moment, I sort of feel as if I'm treading water a little bit. I'm in limbo at the minute. They'll fix everything eventually. But then, you know, it's software, nothing is ever completely fixed. There's always room for improvement. Yeah, there's two levels of false feedback. You've got the global level, and then you've also got the level with the car. So the idea, as I understand it, is you set the global level in general, and then you tweak it in the car. And at the moment, it's that global level that I'm trying to get sorted out. It's like if I'm running over these curbs in PMR, I have no force feedback through the wheel. Can't feel them at all. If I hit the barrier, I can't feel anything. If a car hits me or I hit another car, I can't feel it at all. The other thing as well is you're constantly steering left or right. Going down a straight with Gran Turismo, you could almost take your hands off the wheel and it would just track straight. With PMR, you're like constantly steering one way or the other. So But yeah, as they're just saying in the chat, I was just reading that. There are 2 levels. You've got your global covering everything level, and then it's a case of, oh, for this car, I'd like the steering to be a little bit tighter. I'd like a little bit more granularity in there, or I might want it a little bit lighter. You can do all of that at a car level as well. So it's looking promising. Let me just, I've got some stuff going on here. So I'm in this discussion with in Discord at the moment. Let me just do a reply. Hi, Daz. Yes, the developers are aware, and they're working on the force feedback issues for Logitech wheels. I was talking to one yesterday evening, and they got back to me this morning, and I'm hoping for some news this afternoon. Forgive me, I'm like on these Discord channels all over the place, as well as being in a direct communication with one of the developers. So just keeping an eye out on what's going on. So nothing obviously to report at the moment, other than we are waiting. We're waiting. It would seem to me that the Fanatec guys are okay, and they're one of the few that are. I think if you're running on a PC, you're okay. I think that most of the issue is with console at the moment. And it's interesting because a lot of the pre-release stuff that I was trying to get involved with, I couldn't get involved with because I was on console. It's like I would have been accepted if I was on a PC, but I was on console. So unfortunately, I couldn't get involved. And I think maybe that is part of the issue that they've got, is the console testers maybe came to this too late in the day. And now we're fighting fires. But it sounds like they've got the tools to fight those fires. So let's see. I know I get flamed for it, a lot of people will be, but it should have been right on day one. Yes, it should have been right on day one, but I'm of the mindset, you know, let's give them some time and see what happens. Does it sound okay? I am listening to it through my TV today. I've got it up a little bit louder than normal. Oh, caught that grass again now. So we've had 2 daily races that have been absolutely horrendous. Just complete banger races. I might see how we go with this one, and then if it comes to it, I might dive into PMR and just have a look at the career mode, even with the issues that I've got on the wheel at the moment. Hello, thugs. Thank you for popping in. PMR seems to be console early access without calling it early access. Yeah, it's something is broken in the system, I'm afraid, and they're fighting fires. I feel very sorry for them, actually. William, I've tried it on controller, but I can't race on controller. I did it on controller just to see if there was any feedback, and yeah, it was a lot better. But I do believe that Mikey was racing it on controller, and then that gave out as well. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but I'm interested in getting the Logitech sorted out. Forgive me, I'm not a controller racer. I can't race on controller as much as I've tried. So Mikey, there was early access on PC, but I didn't believe there was any early access on PlayStation. I think right at the very end there might have been, but when I initially tried to sign up for the factory driver program, it was only on PC. But we shall see. Right, so 2 races, completely killed in both. We'll see how we go in this one. And I mean, I'm not even looking at my DR because my mind is not in a good place at the moment anyway, because I was supposed to be doing PMR. Rita and I have got a whole load of stuff set up based around PMR, and it's all sort of gone a bit belly up at the moment. So I'm probably going to do this another race or 2 up until 12 o'clock, and then from 12 I might open up a different stream and jump into PMR and just, you know, see what I can work out. Like I said, I don't know when the PMR are going to get back to us. Oh, Mikey, you're talking about the blank space. There is settings to reduce the center of the controller. There are settings in there for that. I had it in and Rita had it on hers. We were talking about this last night, where there was this dead spot in the center, and you would move between nothing and suddenly you got a load of stuff. But you have to dial that out. Now, arguably, why have you got to dial that out? Why isn't that dialed out as part of the original release? That is a very good question, and one that I can't answer. And as I said to the developers, you know, what I want is just a base configuration. Now, what happened last night is the guide that all of the streamers were using got pulled. That web page was taken down. It is now back up with some updated information. There is also a base guide of settings for every wheel, every controller, everything. That gives you your starting point. For Moza, I believe there are some settings haven't looked this morning, but I looked last night. There was some settings for motor specifically. There was also placeholders for Fanatec, Logitech, SimCube, and all of the other manufacturers, and they're going to be releasing recommended settings to us accordingly. Now, when that will happen, I don't know. I would hope that it will happen fairly quickly, but I'm also hoping that it's going to happen with whoa. I hope that it's going to happen when people have tried and tested, and, you know, and some Logitech people come back and go, yeah, that works. But it also, thinking about it, could be different. Oh. This is a crazy race this week. I just seem to be constantly in the wrong place at the wrong time. Can't remember what I was saying now. Oh. What is the point? That guy just went straight through there and took two of us out. Oh, that's me. Dirty tyres and damage. I can't race this. Just Mikey, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you can't race anymore in Gran Turismo, in the daily races. And yeah, I've said it before, they need to get rid of DR. Just need to get rid of it. It needs to be centered around SR. The DR model just doesn't work. They need to get rid of DR, center it around SR, and they need to get rid of the stupid daily race A. But it ain't gonna happen. What will happen, I think, is when you get games like LMU, PMR get sorted out, and we get some good sim racing with some good penalty system and the ability to report bad racers, you're just going to find that Gran Turismo will just become a place for all of the people that just want to race dirty. is my gut feel. And I think as a lot of people have moved away to LMU on PC, we're seeing more and more of this in Gran Turismo now, where it's so hard to have a decent race. That said, Gamer Dan is having some great races at the moment. Borky's doing really well with some great races. William's having some great races. So maybe I'm just at a level now at the top of the Bs where it's just getting horrible. Absolutely. You've got to maintain a safety rating. I mean, everybody says to me, oh, you need the DR for matchmaking, blah, 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 blah. Yes, you do. Absolutely. Absolutely. PD need the DR for matchmaking. We don't need it. PD need to know that they need to put me in a lobby with Secret Squirrel, with Ruben, Alex, Petro. I don't need to know that. What I need to know is that I need to race safely and keep my sportsmanship rating up, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to race. And like we did in ACC, if you're not at 70, you can't race, or 80 or whatever you want to be. You just can't get in those races. Hello Rachel, good morning. And I think that if they were to adopt that model, it would be so much better. And at the moment, everybody has got to get past that car in front to maintain their DR at all costs. If that's a push to pass, if it's a smash, something like that guy that just, you know, bounced off the side of me, bounced off the side of the next one, pushing his way through, no penalty, no comeback, no nothing. But he's made up, what, 2, 3, maybe 4 places with that move. He's laughing. And, you know, if he's laughing and he's rewarded for it, what is going to stop him from doing it again and again and again and again and again? Nothing. Nothing is going to stop him from doing that again. But I guess it's like a lot of things in life. If you play by the rules, you get nowhere. So what do? Do you descend into chaos and you just shuck it up the inside and run people off? Or do you try and race properly? I mean, I know I have my bumps and my scrapes. I'm not perfect by any stretch of imagination. But when I jump into Gran Turismo, I do try and race this as if the car is mine. And if I bend it, I'm going to have to pay for it. Maybe I'm just not thinking like a sim racer. You know, is it time for me to hang my gloves up and go and do something else? What would I do? Knitting? Flower arranging? I enjoy this too much. I dare say that LMU and PMR will descend into chaos as well at some point, but you know, sooner or later there's going to have to be some sort of reporting, proper reporting, like in proper racing. People know how to cheat the system. They absolutely do, my friend. You're not wrong. They do now. They know where to push, how to push. And I think this is where this is turning into more of a game to win rather than skill to win. Come on, get round. Come on, come on, come on. Mikey, I won't. I will always try and race fair. I don't want to race any other way. I just want one decent race today. That's all. It has always been that way, Mikey, and it ain't gonna change. Oh, is that Farnell? Sorry, Farnell. I'm trying to watch and race. Sorry, my friend. Good morning. How you doing? Sorry. Ugh. That's a YouTuber's worst nightmare. Getting the name wrong. I apologise. If I wasn't racing, I'd get down on one knee and apologise profusely. For now, I'm going to get overtaken. Only 12 left in this one. Guy in front just got the legs on me for the moment. It's holding me just under a second. Nice one, Kiev. Oh, no. Oh, he dropped it right at the end. Oh, Kiev. Kiev. Throwing in his gloves now. No. Oh, that was such a good race. Right. It's 25 past. We could do another one. So I'm going to do another one. Then I'm going to go up to 12 o'clock. And then I'm going to pop into PMR this afternoon for 2 or 3 hours and just have a little look around and see what is what. Where are we? Let me just double check again. I'm having to do this all the time at the moment. I've got so much going. For those of you that are just joining, I've got so much going on with Discord and things. I mean, talking to a PMR developer at the moment. Also on a couple of the forums at the moment. So it looks like for Thrustmaster, somebody's put a decent baseline out there. Nothing on Logitech yet. Okay, that's nothing yet at the moment. I'll continue to keep watching, but yeah, very, very, very refreshing to be talking to one of the PMR developers, taking an interest in the issue that I've got, and like I said, I find it very, very refreshing. The amount of times you try to reach PD and you just get nowhere. It's just like a door slammed in your face. This has been welcoming, engaging, and just about everything I could ask for, which is really good. The proof will be in how quickly the fix comes. They've said sometime today. I don't know when that is. I mean, that could be overnight, depending on where they are in the world, obviously. So we'll just continue to wait and see. I am going to be running my Gran Turismo lobby races this evening. Obviously, whether the PMR will affect that or not, I don't know. As in, if they want me to do testing during that period, I am going to have to take that time out to do that. But we won't know about that until later on this evening. So what I'm going to do is one more race, then I'm going to have a quick break for some lunch. I'll probably close the stream down. I'll open up a new stream this afternoon, and I might just get into the PMR career mode, because there is clearly not a lot of interest in Gran Turismo today. I've got, what, 7 people watching at the moment, which is well down on the 20 odd that I normally have at any one time. Basically because I'm running daily races, and people are just, I think people are, I've had enough of Gran Turismo. Happy to watch the A+ rank races having some relatively respectful races, but at my level it's just not really happening. At least it's not happening for me at the moment. Yeah, the streamers, the developers have been really engaging. And I'm finding that really refreshing. And it just shows how passionate they are about what they're doing. How much they really do want to get it working. Morning, Wanderer. Thank you for your comment. Exactly what I've been saying. PD, no interest. The PMR guys, totally opposite. Engaging, feeding back. As I said earlier on, the PMR guy that I'm dealing with actually contacted me this morning for an update rather than the other way around. I was just leaving him to get on with it. And he came back and said, you know, we're working on it. We're going to have something for you later today. I did say, can I ask you an impossible question? Do you know when that will be? Of course, he said sometime today, but couldn't say when. Responsible answer. Responsible answer. If it turned around and said like 12 o'clock, I'd have probably been like, oh, okay. Yeah, maybe not. But to say sometime today, but I'm not saying when, was the right answer for me. It filled me with some confidence. Thank you for the thumbs up, Wanderer. Appreciate that. But yeah, the views are obviously very, very, very much down on Gran Turismo at the moment. A lot of people are tired of it. They're tired of everything about it at the moment. So, and I'm going backwards through my DR like a great rate of knots right now. I mean, I don't know how much I've lost today. I'll tell you in a moment. I've lost nearly 1,000 DR today alone. I'm back down to 26,961. So I'm looking for 3,000 now. My DR has tanked and tanked and tanked and tanked this week. It's annoying because Gamer Dan's having a great one. His DR has done nothing but increase this week around here. Borky's having some great races as well. William also, and a few others. I can't catch a break. I cannot catch a break right now. Oh, Drag, come on. I'm not going to do any Battlefield, mate. I'm not in. You keep asking me, but I'm so not into Battlefield. It's not my thing. It really isn't. Right. Keep it together. I'm going to ignore the chat. Nudge there from me. Sorry. Just under braking. I thought I broke early enough. It was a little kiss just to let them know I was there. I do hear what you're saying, Farinell, but it costs an awful lot more to get customers than it does to keep customers. And if PD are happy just to lose customers left, right and centre, at some point they're going to have to go back into that situation of trying to buy customers. So it makes no sense to me for them just to sit back and let GT go the way that it is going, whilst we've got all of these other games that are coming through. So I think PD really do need to start engaging with people. And people that want to see the game get better and better and better. But let me get back into this one. We'll have a draft. In the wall. Oh, he was close to the wall there. Have to be on fixing this because it's a new game. They want it to sell. GT7 is already well established brand that sold millions of copies. They don't have to try anymore. Parallel, yeah. But I think they do need to. I still think they need to continue to look after the client base for the reasons I mentioned earlier. The leader has reacted. purple, but the guy in front is still pulling away from me a little bit. Holding at about the 2-second mark at the moment. Three seconds ahead now, so this race is the guy in front, unless he makes a mistake, or she. Nine seconds to the car behind. Don't see the guy in front making a mistake, if I'm honest. Looking pretty smooth. Just managing that gap beautifully at the moment. Oh, I'm in the wall. It's going to move the gap out to over 3, probably 3.5, getting on for 4 seconds. I've often said it, we're in a situation now where all he's got to do is to drive qualifying laps and keep it clean. I've got to overdrive the car, find that extra little bit to try and close. And the more I overdrive the car, the more mistakes I'm making, the further behind I'm going to drop. I've got to find something to close him out, whilst also keeping an eye on the car behind. Fair enough, I think that's very, very, very good advice. Keep the pace, settle for second. I think that is very, very sound advice. Just keep this going for the last lap. There's no way the guy behind is going to make up 9 seconds. There's no way I'm going to make up 4. So time to stop looking at the deltas. Time to bring this home. God, 2:10 or 2:10. 210. Wow, 3 210s. The consistency is coming. All right, one's a 210.0 and one's a 210.9. Not exactly what you call consistent, but let's ignore the other bits. You never know, the guy in front might have a huge problem in a moment. Tyres could blow out. You run out of fuel. Could decide it's all too easy and disappear and have a cup of tea. 5.6 seconds ahead, that's a huge difference. And they've also robbed my fastest lap by some considerable margin. I think the guy up front has been sandbagging, and then just at the end there did a Max Verstappen, decided to bang in a super fastest lap to say, I'm taking everything here. Toying with me all the way through that. I'm right at the end there, put the pedal to the metal and just made it go. Look at 2:08.9, my best at 2:10. Ooh. Well done, CSFA. I'm going to sneeze again. There we go. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. We had 3 really grotty races and then 1 good one. That is the way the cookie crumbles. So a nice second position there for that particular race. Not sure when the stats are going to come in. We'll have a little look in a moment and just see what that has done to the DR. I'm sitting at minus 943 at the moment, but the race has not finished. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a short break for some lunch. I'm going to close the stream out today, set up a new one, and then I'm going to come back and do some PMR this afternoon, just because the races were a bit for me in the daily races, and we'll just see how things going. So even with that second place there, I've brought it back to minus 457 for the day. So 27,447 I'm sitting on right now. Yeah, just there we go. B increased, S increased, all good. Finished on a high, a nice podium to finish up with. But that's what happens if, you know, when I drop my ranking, my DR drops, and I go into a lower B rank race and I can qualify at the front, I can work with somebody and we can have a great race going really, really well. But for the moment, obviously, I need to be able to get my lap times down more for I need to get my lap times down more so I can qualify further up. So that's really what I've got to work on at the moment. Nothing from my man at PMR at the moment. Let's just grab the ticket while I'm here. Jack Kobe, hello. Are you saying any updates? Nothing for the moment, my friend. Oh, really? 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 Honestly, does nothing ever change in Gran Turismo? Do you know, one of the nicest updates I think we could have would be to properly randomize the tickets. Really helps. Yeah, that just about paid for the fuel change, Jack, there. Maybe half a dozen fuel changes. Right, so let's just have a little look. Downloads. So that will be the downloaded item I did yesterday, the update file, 1.060. That's been installed. Let's just clear that and I'll watch to see if anything else does come in a little bit later. But I think what I'm going to do is I am going to just come out of there and we will go into PMR. Now, Project Motor Racing, I haven't got force feedback, but I do want to try. I was going to do a lot of PMR this week, haven't done it. So for this afternoon, the next couple of hours, I'm just going to do a little bit of PMR and just see how we can get on without force feedback. So it would be quite interesting, I should say. Right, for now, I'm going to leave you and I'll be back in about 10 or 15 minutes on a new channel. But for now, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.